Hello everybody and welcome to the Triple Jump Podcast. It's a video game podcast. My name is Ben.
My name is Peter.
Peter, it finally happened.
Did it?
We got tagged in a tweet about someone's personal best to do with athletics.
Yes, we did.
It happened.
That did actually happen.
It happened on Twitter. Can't remember who it was. I should have really prepared it beforehand, but someone was tagging their personal trainer and their fitness coach, and it was some sort of video of someone doing some warm-up for a triple jump, and they tagged us.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Go Team Triple Jump.
Should have retweeted it really, but
we should have done.
We're very important and we can't afford to do that. It is a video game podcast though. It's a very important video game podcast. We were at EGX last week. The show came out after we'd already left, but we recorded it before.
I stayed down in London.
Yeah, it was lovely. We saw a lot of you, and if
we
met
a lot of youths.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of school children.
Yeah.
If we saw and met you, thank you for saying hello. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
No, the pleasure's all yours.
How was your think stroke? How was your back in the end?
Oh, not good.
No? That's something you were worried about last show.
Yeah, well, so to all the other shows we've been to, by the end, I've always got a sore back, like right at the top of my spine. I think it's something to do with shoulder satchels. It was that bad that I Googled it later on.
Oh no!
I did a medical Google, which you should never do. But
you are dying.
Yeah, you've got all of the diseases. You've got everything. But yeah, like apparently that can do something to the top of your back. You know, if you're lugging a shoulder bag around. So yeah, at the end of all the other conferences we've been to, it's happened. But so I was like, oh, it's going to happen this time for sure. Happened on like day 0.
Day 1.
It just started immediately. I think partly because I was just anticipating it so much that I just noticed it.
Thinking about it, you had phantom back pain, which is of course the 5th Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah.
So did you?
I just had the biggest, longest bath ever when I got back.
Oh my god, no, me too. It was
cooked
amazing.
my bones. Yeah. I made a nice Peter stew.
Did you get a stew going? I was going to say people enjoyed the stew joke, however laboured it may have been.
Yeah.
So. You should get yourself a nice bark park, my dude. So
I should. I think I will do next time.
You don't have a strappy boy anymore. You got 2 straps.
Yeah.
I was worried about my calves.
Yeah.
And how my legs would feel, but it was actually my lower back felt a bit sore.
Oh yeah.
But I think we sort of planned our day cleverly in that we walked around for a while. We joined a queue for a long time, which did hurt. And then we streamed for an hour and a half, which meant sitting down on an ergonomic streamy boy chair.
That was nice.
And then we didn't really do much more apart from stroll around and then sit down. So it still took its toll, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
My back kind of hurts again now. I think it is just
It's
when
all
I
in your
become aware
mind.
of it, it suddenly starts aching. That's not a good thing.
Punch kick. Well, before we get any further, I should say that we do have a vlog from EGX, sort of, if you want to sort of discover our full adventures. They're recapped there, so go and watch that video. We've also done quip scopes on all the games we played.
We have.
And also the stream we did from the show floor.
What I thought you were going to say was, before we go any further, we've actually got a sponsor that we need to read before we continue into the podcast.
Hell yeah, we do.
You know when you go, say, to London for a conference, or...
I thought you just said, you know when your goat...
You know when your goat just eats everything in the garden. Oh,
yeah.
Goat, you've done it again.
Damn it, we're brought to you by goats.
Yeah. You're traveling, you're going somewhere, maybe on business trip or you're backpacking around Europe. You want somewhere cheap to stay.
Yeah.
So you think, well, why don't I book myself into an Airbnb?
I'm sorry?
An Airbnb.
A what?
An Airbnb. This being the spooky episode of the podcast, we've got a spooky...
It's very spooky.
A spooky sponsor. It's part of the Condemned Corporation. It's a subsidiary of the Condemned Corporation. Airbnb, of course, stands for Air, Bed and Drug-Addled Maniacs.
Oh, good.
So you too can slum it in the stinkiest, most horrible crack-dusted...
Crack-dusted.
A dusting of crack.
A light dusting of crack.
Crack-dusted... abandoned schools and hospitals and subway stations.
Sounds amazing.
It's like the song Common People, in that it's a sort of a class tourism thing.
Right.
You know, I want to live like common people.
Yes.
And by that I mean I want to sleep in a sewer and smack myself over the head with a 2x4.
Right. This is a thing there's a market for this, is there?
Absolutely. Yeah,
there is.
People lap it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dead birds everywhere. It just stinks.
Yeah.
So bad.
Just stinks real bad.
Yeah.
Do they have a website?
No.
They don't.
No, that's how bad it is. There's no infrastructure for a website.
Right. It's literally underground.
Yeah.
You can't find it anywhere.
The best thing is though that when you then get out of there, you have a new appreciation for just the world and beds and some degree of cleanliness.
Sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight.
Great. You know what? That sounds like one of the best sponsors we've ever had.
Airbnb. Spooky.
Except it's a lie.
Oh, it's a spooky lie.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you're watching at home, you're an idiot. If you're listening, you fool.
Oh.
You're a fool. You're an absolute fool. And not a foal, like a babby horse.
Little horse.
You're a fool. You're an absolute fool. Of course, we are sponsored, as we are every week, by our delightful patrons over at patreon.com/Team TripleJump. Every question we get for the show is taken from Patreon. If you support us at any tier, even if that's just $1,
Just one.
you can ask questions that will maybe on the show.
That will maybe
That
be
will
on
maybe
the show.
on the show. As you said, it is the spooky episode, although we haven't really... I didn't want to scare people because I'm conscientious like that. Oh!
Got you good.
I'm going to need a second.
Yeah.
You take it.
So two such patrons who have asked questions on our Patreon are Samson Horn and Christian Sturt. We know that one.
We do know that one.
They are spooky questions, and it's basically a similar question, so they've been lumped in together.
Lumped.
Samson Horn says, horror games, VR, have you? Would you? Fragment, consider revising. And Christian Sturt says, why hasn't more been done with VR and the horror game genre in general? Sorry, I sort of inflected that a bit wrongly. With VR and the horror game genre in general.
Nice. There was more to Christian's question, but it was the same sort of lines, along the same lines. You've really spooked the words right out of my brain there, Peter, with your boo. What you did?
We've played a couple of Spookums games, haven't we?
I mean, have we?
Well, I sort of have.
I watched you play a Spookums game in VR, for sure.
I played a little bit of Resident Evil 7 at Ben's house. It was very scary.
You were reviewing it at the
partly
time,
the control scheme was really scary.
It was the toughest bit.
In order to turn, there was actually, you could turn completely freely, but I didn't realize at first. I don't think it told us. I think it prioritized the notion of turning in sort of 10-degree chunks by flicking the right stick left or right. So he would sort of go...
Yeah, I hate that.
Which was really strange. But you know, the spookiest thing was just being kind of in the same room as the horrible, slimy sort of venom monsters.
The Master Baker house.
Yeah, well, no, we weren't there though when I played it.
Oh, no, you were later on,
as
weren't
far
you?
as the sort of there's like a ship, isn't there? At one point,
a
big
one
old
of those boaty boys.
Yeah, a big aircraft carrier or something. And we were in that bit, and there's those slimy, sort of weird. They do look a bit like Venom, really. Is the best comparison I can make. Anyway, it was scary. Didn't play it for very long. I just did it so I could sort of review
Say that
it.
you'd done it.
I did the minimum amount so that I was able to review it. But we've both also played another game. I don't even know if you've notamed it down. Until Dawn Rush of Blood.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Oh, haven't you?
Well, this is the thing, right? I got a PlayStation VR and I bought various games with it. One of which was Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which is just, you think Until Dawn, you think, oh, spooky, scary skeletons, then shivers down my spine.
Yeah, wow.
And maybe yours as well. Seek chiropractic help, though, if you do get that. And I never had the intention of playing it, ever.
Right.
It's just an on-rails shooter,
It's
basically.
not really Until Dawn related at all, is it?
It just has some of the characters from it.
Yeah, and I think there's clowns in it.
It's just a ghost train,
Yeah.
basically. But you have two guns and you shoot with the guns and stuff. But I never intended to play it. I just wanted to get it because it was Until Dawn, right? That can't be bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the biggest joy I've had out of VR, honestly, is just letting people try it. And lots of people wanted to try the spooky one.
Because
So
Jules
that's
played
why.
it at your house while I was there.
Yeah.
And I think I might have had a go for sort of 5 minutes. I think I did have a go, but yeah. It was again, kind of scary, but really just sort of in a panicky kind of way. Like you just see them coming towards you, and as well as that being scary, you're also thinking about your score, and I don't want to die. I want to score big and good.
Yeah.
So that was pretty spooky. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd say the kitchen, which was a sort of teaser for Resident Evil 7.
Oh yeah,
that is a real spooky one. I haven't played any of these.
Right.
So the kitchen is where you're sat in a chair and you can't move. All you can do is look around you, and you're holding the DualShock 4 controller in front of you, and your hands are tied in game. So it sort of makes sense, physical sense, to have your hands together in front of you, holding the controller. And you're locked in the house, and you're tied to a chair, and your friend tries to get you out. But then a spooky, scary lady comes and jumps on his back and stabs him lots of times, and they tumble out of the room. You're like, oh, what's? And then there's a silence for ages, and then his severed head gets just rolled across the floor into the room. And this is just a sort of a demo, a showcase, if you like, for not only Resi but just the VR in general. It was one of the demos they were showing off before the headset came out.
Right.
And there's silence for a little bit longer. And then no matter where you're looking, she climbs over the top of your head and puts her hands over your face and eyes.
Oh.
And then just like peers over the top and goes, ha, 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 and then just stabs you in the face with a knife. And that's the end of the demo. And it's horrible. I've got it on my PS4 just again because some people want to try that for some reason. The point is, horror in VR, it does work.
Yes.
It really does work. I would argue that Batman Arkham VR in many cases is actually a bit spooky.
Yeah, I nearly wrote that down.
There's something about being physically almost there, and it's, you can't escape from it.
Yeah.
Like you can close your eyes, but you got the headphones on. If you open your eyes, you're there. You can't look away from the TV. It's not third person. It's just like how I think in many cases first-person horror games are scarier than third-person horror games because there's an element of claustrophobia, and
you feel like it's you rather than you're watching someone else.
And you can see people coming from behind you in third person, whereas you can't in first person. And especially if you're in the first person, you are the person.
And you can't remind yourself, if you're doing it VR style, you can't remind yourself that it's not real by sort of realizing, oh, hang on, I'm just looking at a small aperture in the room, and the rest of the room is the real safe world.
Look all around it. There's my fake house plant.
Yeah, but no,
you can't do that.
It's everything. You have to shut your eyes or take it off. That's it.
I suppose the answer is why hasn't more been done with VR and the horror game genre in general, especially when talking about VR, is that VR is, as we've spoken about before, just not something that developers really seem to care that much about. So if you're going to get a horror game, it's going to be a smaller indie studio. And I know that there are tons of horror games in VR, but they are of wildly varying quality. So I don't know if you'll ever see a Resident Evil 7 on VR again. I don't know if you'll ever see anything that big.
Right.
But no, if there was one, I would not.
I think you'll see one eventually in maybe a decade when potentially VR will have a more of a chance of being what it wants to be. But yeah, as we've talked about VR on various podcasts and just the state of it and why we think it's not really doing what people thought it might do and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I think for the time being, that's why there aren't that many horror VR games, because to be honest, there aren't that many, relatively speaking, there aren't that many VR games at all. Certainly not as we know them.
Tentpole releases.
Yeah. So that's why.
That's it.
Because it's just because of VR in general, really.
But if something were even of passable quality as a horror game, in VR, it would just be way scarier.
Oh, yeah.
In exactly the same way as co-op makes kind of wonky games way more fun because you can enjoy them with a friend. Whereas, if you're struggling through on your own, it's not as fun. So there we go. Peter.
Yes.
Time for a section. We call it What We Spoopin'.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we do now.
Oh.
Yeah. It's time for What We Sploopin'. It's different name now.
Sploopily Deloop.
Sploopily Deloopily. Peter, what are you spooping?
Well, as well as spoopily playing things at EGX.
Yes.
You know, I played Predator Hunting Grounds and the other game, Doom.
Doom, yeah.
Both of which have spoopy elements to them, or at least horror tropes.
Yes.
I've been actually just continuing to play Bugs Bunny Lost in Time.
Oh, Bugs Bunny
stream.
Lost in Time.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time.
Very scary, that game.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying. Really, there is a witch in it.
Is it?
Yeah. So actually,
Actually.
and a Martian.
Whoa, that's really scary.
And a pirate.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You stop right now or I will poo my pants.
Don't do that.
I will. I'll do it.
Please do not.
Stop saying all the scary words in the
Okay,
sentence.
I promise I'll stop. That's fun. I'm enjoying that. Probably got maybe 1 or 2 chunks left to do on live stream. Mm-hmm. I stream every Monday at 3 p.m. BST on twitch.tv.
We're running out of BST, aren't we? We're going to have to change it soon.
Yeah, it's no longer going to be bullcrap time. BST.
Bullcrap. What? Yes.
Well, I can't say what.
No, you can't. You can't. No, you're right.
But that's kind of all I've been playing at home. I've just been watching a lot of television.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Why are you doing that for?
I don't know. I'm watching old stuff as well. I've been watching
hello?
a few things,
You
really.
got bad signal at home.
Yeah.
Is that why that sounds like that?
I'm trying to remember all the things I've been watching. I've watched some Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh, man.
I've watched some Jonathan Creek I've watched a bit of.
My goodness.
Yeah.
You're very
watched
old,
The
Peter.
Apprentice.
You're so old.
I know.
Are you sure you
That's
don't?
because I recently got a TV license, so I can legally watch The Apprentice.
I see. That's what was putting you off before.
Well,
Huge Apprentice fan over here.
I started watching Jonathan Creek as well, which is on Netflix, and I do have Netflix. But there was an episode missing between 2 series, and so I just stopped there because I was like, well, I don't want to jump to the next series if I don't know what happened in between.
No, what happened?
Well, he met a character who was in the following series, like in every episode.
Oh,
so I was
for
like, well, I
God's
want to
sake.
know how they met.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
so
what
you
I've been
got a
playing.
TV license
Jonathan
just so
Creek.
you could fill that gap.
No,
in.
just so I could watch The Apprentice.
Right. Okay.
That's why.
Are you sure you don't have a full-time job in the city and sort of live in the countryside with your wife, 2 kids, and a dog?
If only. If only. Okay. If only I was rich enough to do that.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be really nice.
It's a sort of, it used to be a fairly attainable goal that's sort of getting harder and harder for younger generations to achieve. Yeah. Who knows where we'll be in 10 years.
Or to even dream of ever achieving.
Don't think about owning a house. Don't think about dogs either.
How dare you?
You can't have dogs.
No.
Or
you can't even have a wife or child. Wife or husband.
Or husband. Or husband.
Okay. So that's what I've been playing. Just the thing that I'm almost contractually obliged to play once a week.
Sure. Yeah. You need to. You have to, or you'll be fired.
Soon though, I'll be playing actual new and interesting games. I'll be playing Star Wars soon.
Yes, that's very soon, isn't it?
Jedi Fallen Order. That's exciting. I'll be able to tell you about that sort of 2 or 3 weeks on the trot.
Well,
what have you been playing?
Speaking of talking about things weeks and weeks and weeks on the trot, I've been playing Borderlands 3. I'm nearly done with it now. I'm very, very close to the end, but I found some new side missions that opened up sort of challenge runs.
Right.
That are now sort of, they're delaying the end of the game for me.
Right.
So I'm just trying to not drag it out for as long as possible, but every time I get a new side thing pop up, I think, oh, I'll go do that. I won't finish the game. There's no point in finishing the game yet. I'll go do the side stuff first. It's fine. And then when I finish the game, it's finished properly.
It's not like day end, you finish the game. You've got to do the side stuff first.
September? I've been playing it for over a month now, I think. It's been a while. Still loving it.
Good.
Still great. Menus are still buggered.
Are they still?
It's so bad. Like it's so Denny Jenkins, so really laggy.
Yeah.
You're walking around Sanctuary, I noticed yesterday, and I was sometimes colliding with stuff that I've never hit before.
Oh no.
And occasionally like smoke effects from vents would just go "Aah!" and just shudder and like disappear and reappear. It's like, what are they doing over there? They're too busy doing hot fixes to loot and levels and overpowered builds.
That for some reason the menus aren't a priority.
The menus are not a priority. I just want an option for simplified menus. I don't need this fancy nonsense. Just give me text written down. I'm okay with that. I just want it to run, really.
Sorry to hear that about your new, not necessarily favourite game.
Wow.
Your new fun beloved game.
Important games.
Yeah.
I'm still really liking it, but that's like, it's kind of stupid and unacceptable at this point anyway. Just like you, went to EGX, played some games.
Yeah.
Played Final Fantasy VII Remake, played Avengers. They're good. They're very good. There's videos on those.
Yeah, we've done
channel.
quick scopes on all of our... That's why I didn't talk too long about mine, but yeah.
Go watch those.
Watch those.
Watch those for more information. And I streamed Red Dead Online.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, God.
Did online.
It's not got a lot going on.
No?
You know, you were talking about carrying the soup and the stew across the map.
Yeah.
I get it.
You can see why they had to...
The only reason I did it is because it won a poll on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what do I do? There are missions, yeah, but it's just like, it takes forever to get anywhere.
What did you do?
I got
around.
killed by a crocodile.
Yeah?
Twice, or maybe an alligator. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
which one.
I was going to say, I don't know if they have crocodiles in the Wild West.
You know, scaly boys.
Yeah.
I got killed by a scaly boy.
Alligators.
And I went on a murdering rampage around St. Denis.
Right.
I know it's not pronounced St. Denis. I was being facetious in the stream, and people were saying, I think it's pronounced Saint Denis. I was like, shut up. For God's sake. If you don't know what we like by now, come on.
We definitely had a comment once from someone. It wasn't on a stream, because we do it every time on a stream, but it was in a video. We said something about 420 being the sex number,
yes,
or 69 being the drugs number.
Yeah.
And we had a comment underneath going, why did they say 420 is this? I think they mean 69.
Oh, they're so daft.
Is the sex number 420?
I think it's great, honestly. Yeah. It confuses the hell out of people sometimes.
It separates the wheat from the chaff.
Let's put it that way, shall we?
Yeah.
The wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played some Red Dead Online, didn't really do much in it, but it was a great stream, so you should watch the VOD. We had fun, but it was just like, I can't imagine going home and thinking, hey, you guys want to posse up and play Red Dead Online tonight?
Yeah.
No, what the hell would we do? Buy extremely expensive items of clothing from the tailor?
Yeah.
For real world money?
Have a bath?
Nah, I'm good. You can't, I don't even think you can do that.
Oh, God.
Just run around town and kill people.
But what do you do if you've been carrying your shoulder satchel for 3 days straight in Red Dead? You need a bath.
You need a nice bath.
Oh.
Yeah, one thing that does annoy me, that's still a hangover from why I just didn't really like Red Dead 2 anyway, was because all the buttons do the control schemes in Rockstar games are so stupid.
Yeah.
They always have been. I get triangle gets in a car, that's cool. L2, R2, aim, shoot, that's awesome. But everything else, like every D-pad button does something, and if you hold it, it does something else. And if you press combinations of buttons, it does stuff. It's just way too complicated.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. And if they were going to do that, why couldn't they make it a more conventional control scheme? I hate having to keep tapping X to run. It's stupid. Stop making me do that in games. I hate that.
You want
I hate
to click
that so
down your
much.
left stick instead.
I was desperately trying to remember how to emote to wave to someone who was waving at me, and I shot them.
Oh, no.
I just couldn't. There's so many stupid, and there's no prompts on screen. I hate it.
Yeah.
This is a stupid game.
Especially when you're new to the game and a little tip comes up in the corner and says, by the way, if you want to look after your horse,
it's a bit loud, that. I think it's, by the way, if you want to look after your horse.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's either really...
It's really quiet because it's so small.
Or it's really loud because the point is that it's there and then it's gone.
Yeah.
They say it really quickly.
You never see it again. And then it's up to you to press every button on your keyboard, on your controller. Some kind of Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Of, will I kill this man? Will I just be walking around St. Denis and just fire off my pistol into the sky?
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I going to roll over? Am I going to start running? Am I going to hijack a horse?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's not as good a fit for the online world as GTA Online.
That's the problem with Red Dead is, we've said that the reason me and you were both put off by the second Red Dead Redemption was that there's just that much to go at.
So much.
And similarly, that's kind of what the control scheme is doing as well. There's so much that they've included that they have to assign 3 things to one button.
It's not necessary.
No.
It's okay to cut some stuff to streamline things. I bet there's stuff in that game that nobody ever bothered to do. It's just why would you do it? Why be any different? Okay, got another question here.
Yeah?
This is from Tiffany Kleinans, I believe. Kleinhans. And Caroline O'Brien. O'Brien. Carolina Breen.
Carolina Breen.
Carolina Breen.
Carolina Breen.
And Tiffany Kleinans.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Tiffany Small Hands. That means it doesn't. Hands does not mean hands.
Your hands are beautiful.
Yes.
Tiffany asks, if you had to be any evil entity or creature from our video game for the rest of your existence, what or who would it be? And similarly, how did we do it? Carolina Breen. Sorry,
Caroline.
Asks, if you had to choose to be a character in a horror game, which one and why? Peter, you're stuck in a game.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a spooky game.
Yeah.
You're there forever.
Yeah.
Who are you going to be?
Well, so Caroline's question, I think I mean Carolina.
I think you mean Carolina.
Asked if we had to choose to be a character in a horror game, whereas Tiffany specified an evil entity or creature. So I've brought one of each. So, as in, because I assumed Caroline was saying if you had to be the protagonist or play a character from a horror game.
I see.
So, I mean, maybe that's not the way you interpreted the question.
No, I interpreted it differently, but I think that's great because we'll have a different answer, won't we?
Well, I'll answer the first one, which is probably kind of what you did, which is if I had to be a spooky, horrible thing from a game.
Yeah.
I chose Little Nightmares, which didn't immediately spring to mind for horror games, but I couldn't think of an answer for either of these questions, and I started Googling what horror games.
What horror
Give
games?
me a list of horror, and Little Nightmares came up on various websites, so it counts. I would just be one of the guests. You know, the really fat people who get to just eat sausages all day and drink wine.
Man. But aren't they like recycled at the end of the day? Isn't it implied that they get recycled or something?
That's not necessarily.
No?
Some of them don't make it off the moor, I think is the implication.
Right.
But some of them maybe do? Question mark? Anyway, it's a good way to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Gluttony for a day.
Yeah.
They eat a lot of that food there.
No, I think that would be good, actually. That's a really good one.
Because they're villains, but they just eat.
Yeah.
And they do try and eat the little girl, and I don't think... I wouldn't like to feel compelled by instinct to try and eat a small child, but...
Have you never had
price to pay.
a bucket of chicken so good that as you're eating it, your hamster walks past and you just go, yeah, you know what, I'm doing it.
It's like
Get in there.
like the Looney Tunes.
Just dip it in gravy, it's going in.
When they're on a desert island or something, or they're cast adrift at sea, and they see like a seagull fly past, and it's just a roast chicken.
Yeah, just flapping in the breeze.
A delicious roast chicken.
Yeah.
But if I had to be a hero, I was trying to think of there's lots of great heroes that I'd quite like to be, but it would mean I would have to then be in the equivalent world in which that they operate, and I wouldn't like that at all.
Right.
So I think I chose ultimately in terms of most badass, calm, chill in the face of horror hero, who also is in a slightly less spooky world, partly because I know it quite well, would be Leon from Resident Evil 4.
Right.
You know, I've played that game a lot, so I would feel relatively comfortable in the spooky murder village. But even if I didn't, if he was thrust into a whole new environment, if I was sent to Raccoon City, which I would be a lot more scared at, he just oozes confidence, doesn't he?
Yeah.
At no point does Leon ever really
He's
seem
not fazed.
bothered.
You've got his hair as well.
Oh, yeah. You just sort of bunch it all together and then put it over one eye. That's sort of what he does.
How can you sort of mock aiming a gun? Does that get in the way at all when you're aiming the big aim?
Definitely.
Is it? Does it obscure vision? There it is. Flick it away.
Ada.
Yes.
That's what he says.
Oh yeah. Would you be willing to chase Ada around in a weird love
sort of weird
love-hate relationship sort of thing?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a great answer.
Thanks.
And you could learn Spanish too.
I could.
I said that weird, didn't I? I said that
Spanish too.
You could learn
like
Spanish
the next level
too.
Spanish.
Yes,
Spanish. I could learn Spanish
Welcome
too.
to Spanish 2. Are you ready for mine, Peter?
I am so ready for yours.
I would like to be a member of the townsfolk from Bloodborne.
Would you like to be?
Yes. And I'll tell you why. I've got lots of bullet points here.
It's your fault. Or something.
Away!
Away!
Away! It's all your fault. Those are two of them. You were very close, though.
Yeah.
So you get to hang out with the boys.
Right.
Primarily, you get to hang out with the boys. You're wandering around. You're with your friends.
You're 7 foot tall.
No wives to be
No.
seen. Maybe you're hanging around with your partner, your life partner. Mm-hmm. Who's to say?
An abundance of farm equipment at your fingertips.
Exactly. I mean, what else are you going to use those pitchforks for?
Yeah.
There's literally no agriculture. So you might as well walk around and look menacing with it. Take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
You've been meaning to do that all day. You've been putting it off long enough. Why not do it during the unending hunt.
Yeah.
You might as well, right?
Nothing else to
give
do.
the dog a stretch. That's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give the dog a stretch.
Give the dog a stretch. With a knick-knack paddywhack, you give a dog a stretch.
Give the dog the stretch.
Yeah.
Point 3, get some fresh air. Mm-hmm. You've been cooped up too long.
So's the dog.
Lots of people are locked inside their houses, right? Not you. You're out there. You're getting some fresh air. You're being healthy. You're walking around. You're having a wonderful time. Next one, keep the streets safe. Yharnam is your home. You're from here.
Yeah.
You love it here. You paid a lot of money to live here.
Yeah.
Your mum died of cholera here. It's important to you.
You've been feeding those crows for many years.
You've been
in
feeding
the same spot.
the giant crows for years.
Yeah.
You deserve to live here in safe and peacety.
Yeah, safe and peacety.
Safe and peacety.
Yeah.
And so strolling around with your pitchforks held aloft, pitchforks out for Harambe and all that. That's so old, that isn't it? What a reference.
Haram what? What
Haram
are you
who?
Hello?
Whomrambe? I think you mean Whomrambe.
Yes.
You get to keep them straight. Neighborhood watch. Excuse me, I'm not peeping out the through the curtains with my binoculars like Mrs. Goggins is. I'm out there. I'm making a difference.
Yeah. Neighborhood action. Never mind watch.
Point 5. See the city at night. Yharnam is a beautiful place. It's lovely.
Yes.
The street lamps illuminating the bloody floor.
No need to swear about it.
The floor that's covered in blood.
Yeah.
And the dead horse carcasses. It is a sight to behold. And it's something that can't truly be appreciated in the daytime.
Yeah.
And I think experiencing Yharnam at night is really unique. It's like experiencing Newcastle at night, or in fact any time after 4:30 p.m. Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, the blood on the floor.
The blood on the floor. The
dead horses.
The dead horses because football fans have punched them so hard. The sort of shrieking of various banshees.
Fat crows.
Yeah.
Newcastle infamous for its fat crows.
Big fat crows. And my final point, if you die, you come back.
Really?
Yeah. So if you get killed by the person you're trying to protect the city from, next time they go home, you come back. And
Great.
you get to relive this whole experience with the boys all over again. This message was paid for by the Yharnam Tourist Board.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Visit Yharnam. Go Yharnam.
Stay in an Airbnb in Yharnam.
Yeah, I think AB&D definitely has a branch in Yharnam for sure.
Yeah.
That's who I'd be. I just think it'd be fairly chill, because there's nothing that brings a group of friends together quite like the ability to absolutely gank a hunter. Because you can't take him on your own.
No.
You can't. He'll slice and dice you, or she.
Or she.
And
might be Barbara Piss.
It might be Babrapis.
Yeah.
In which case you're double doomed. You're going to get piss-rolled as well.
That's true.
But if you and your boys are all stood there and you're going, away, 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 and you're all poking at once, there's nothing they can do. They're just going to die. And that's a bond.
Teamwork.
Right there. Sometimes if you kill them and they drop their blood echoes, you absorb them, you get the glowing purple eyes, you look extra cool. That is a bonus of the gig. I just think, all in all, I think I'd have a great time.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Very good. Bloodborne's a bit weird, isn't it, really?
It is.
It's got some big, weird sort of monsters crawling around.
It has. I was going to say, actually, I suppose, in their own eyes, the townsfolk are the heroes of Bloodborne. So it doesn't matter, does it?
No, you're right. In fact, that's a bit of a weird conclusion that we've come to there.
Yeah.
About the weird game.
What's that?
Bloodborne. The villains are the goodies.
Well, I suppose so. They're villains in that they are enemies that will try to hurt you.
But they know what it's all for the greater good.
Yeah, they're just trying to protect their home. They don't understand. You're this cursed outsider that's come in and
it's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Away.
Yeah, away.
Anyway, I'm trying to loosely
clap your hands.
Sort of connect this. So that weird game where that weird thing happens, weird. It's time for weird news.
Oh my god. Weird news time. Peepter. Art thou ready for weirdest news?
It's just in.
Yep.
A weird thing has happened.
Has it?
This really the best part of this article is just the headline.
Okay.
Once the headline has been read, you kind of understand the story.
Okay.
this is according to Polygon. Owen S. Good is the author.
Oh, Owen's good again.
Yeah, Owen's good. Change your name, speedrun organisers tell Tomato Anus. Tomato Anus, a Twitch streamer and world record speedrunner in the Fallout series, must perform under a name other than Tomato Anus in order to compete in Awesome Games Done Quick. We know that one. We like that one.
Yeah,
AGDQ.
we do like that one.
Tomato Anus confirmed the name change via Twitter today, saying that it was only for AGDQ in January and that he will still go by Tomato Anus on Twitch.
Good for him.
Instead, Tomato Anus, I think instead of using any pronouns whatsoever, they've just inserted the word Tomato Anus in place of any he's or hims.
Yeah. There's an awful lot of tomato anus in this article.
It's very well written. Instead, Tomato Anus will perform a run of Fallout Anthology as Tomato Angus.
Excellent. Excellent.
Tomato Anus, in an extended note to fans and viewers, said that three of Tomato Anus, I'm going to do the work as well.
Yeah.
That 3 of Tomato Anus's past 6 submissions to AGDQ events had been hidden from public view because of the Tomato Anus name. For AGDQ 2020, Tomato Anus decided I would prefer to have my submissions be publicly viewable under a name other than Tomato Anus, so people could see that I was submitting on their website rather than only know based on me tweeting under the handle Tomato Anus what my submissions were. Awesome Games Done Quick is the January end of the biannual week-long speedrunning marathon and charity fundraiser that has been going on for a decade. Organisers build a schedule from proposals made by elite speedrunners from all over the world. Tomato Anus has submitted proposals to 6 different GDQ events and recently realised that Tomato Anus's submissions were not publicly viewable under the handle Tomato Anus. Tomato Anus then reached out to GDQ organisers and the Tomato Angus compromise was reached, thus making Tomato Anus's participation visible to the public. However, Tomato Anus's Twitch information still wasn't publicised during those runs because Tomato Anus still went by the Tomato Anus handle on Twitch, not Tomato Angus. This is a very padded article.
My goodness, it is, isn't it?
I think that's pretty much it.
Hitting a minimum word count there, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's now just talking about some of his accolades. He's
I think you mean arscalades.
Yeah, I do. Anus blades. He did Fallout Anthology in 1 hour, 27 minutes and 38 seconds. Mm-hmm. Tomato Anus is also the world record holder for a sex % run of the collection, which is the fastest time to getting the player character into a sexual encounter in all of the series games.
Wow. Excellent.
God, Tomato Anus by name, Tomato Anus by nature.
Yeah, he seems a certain type, doesn't he? Doesn't he? You think?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like I have profiled him and I get his whole deal.
Yeah, Tomato Anus. That's it.
Excellent. Wow.
There's a lot of extra stuff in there, but they're just trying to say the word Tomato Anus as much as possible.
Right, just to get all those keywords. I think he could probably go by Tomato Anus.
Possibly, yeah.
Tomato Anus. It sounds like some sort of... that's probably quite xenophobic. I can't say that, but I think you get what I'm saying from the implication there.
Well, I was going to say, I hope that your story is YouTube algorithm friendly because I've just realised that we cannot
Tomato Anus
entitle our video
Tomato Anus.
Yeah,
Tomato Anus. Thankfully, it is.
Okay,
and it's one that a lot of people will be familiar with. I've just got to load it though because I am prepared for this. Are you prepared for this?
Yes.
Are you prepared for this? It's about WWE 2K20.
Okay.
Of course it is. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the GIFs and the videos about just how broken and awful this game is.
Are we doing? I guess it's so widely known now that it's broken that we can't continue to just sort of skirt around it.
It needs to be addressed.
Being part of a wrestling, network, we kind of thought let's just see how it goes, but it's too late.
That's it. They've not fixed it.
No.
So here we go. This is from Push Square. We know that one. WWE 2K20 is an astoundingly buggy mess on PS4. There's better lookers on PS2. It says. So there are like 4 updates to this article with new embedded tweets.
Okay.
But I'll go back to the original. If I can find... Oh, I've just had a reminder, Peter, to buy some brown rice.
Oh, do it. Buy it.
Exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
For my boring tea.
Oh.
2K Sports wrestling games have been at the butt of some bad jokes for a while now, but fans of the... All right, push square. Sports... had hoped that longtime developer Yuki's removal from the franchise would result in some tangible improvements to the series. Wrong. Footage of WWE 2K20 has started to appear online ahead of its release next week, and this was posted, I think, a little while ago. And we can only imagine it's been helmed by some of Visual Concepts' interns, while the rest of the team focus on NBA 2K20's casino minigames. Take a look for yourself. Now, this is a clip I am going to play, because you only really need the audio from it.
Oh, God.
The career mode is like a storyline where you have a female and a male wrestler and your best friends, and it follows your journey from high school all the way through to you being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Great idea. Love it. Writing, though, the writing is not great.
It's really, really bad and weird.
It's the kind of thing we would write ironically in a list.
Yeah.
So tell me what you think of this, everybody. This is them being bullied. Here we go. Here we go.
Get my own action figure. Become WWE Divas Champion. Is this some kind of WWE nerd vision board?
This is the bully.
Being immortalized in semi-posable plastic is the greatest thing a human being can achieve.
Yeah.
Don't ever touch our stuff again.
Yeah.
What? Like
This is the
this?
rest of the bully.
That was a huge mistake.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I've unleashed Hothead Red! I'm gonna take that marker, bring it to your grandmother's nursing home, and cross out parts of her chart so when the nurse goes to give her turn-down service, she won't know to flip her over. That's right! I'm gonna give your grandmother bed sores!
Oh!
And then the bully replies, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Well,
and,
yeah.
And yeah.
Rightly so.
What a psychopathic thing to say.
No wonder you're getting bullied. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying.
That sentence was... Every word in it was too many words.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And it was such a bad, oh snap.
I'm going to take that mark. It's all started with the marker.
I'm going to take that marker, go to the nursing home where your grandmother is, and cross out some things
Parts
on
of her chart.
Parts of her chart, so that when the maid comes, she won't know to flip her over when giving turn down service. That's right, I'm going to give your grandmother bed sores.
Oh.
What the hell is
Why not,
that?
if you're going to go to the nursing home with the marker, why not just draw on her grandma?
Yeah.
That's easier.
My granddaughter
convoluted.
is a bully.
Yeah.
Anyway,
God.
It doesn't end there.
No.
In fact, if anything, it actually gets worse. The below clip reveals some real PlayStation 2 era animations. They haven't even blended properly, so you can literally see the keyframes that have been applied to the character rig. It's mind-boggling stuff. So this next clip that I won't play is a backstage interaction, but every sentence that she starts, she's in a different place. Mm-hmm. So she's just sort of moving around, and there's like a weird, horrible crossfade between the different animations.
Yeah, she'll talk over here. If you're watching on the video version, she'll talk here and then she'll be done, and then it'll suddenly crossfade, and she starts here, sort of frozen,
doing a different
and
animation
then starts talking.
that doesn't match her conversation at all.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, hair physics from previous installments have been stripped away, resulting in seriously awkward walk-in sequences like the one below. It's not a favourable comparison, is it? So if you're aware of who Bianca Belair is, she has a sort of ponytail that goes down to the back of her thighs. It's a very long ponytail, and she swings it round when she makes her entrance. In last year's game, it swung around.
Yeah.
In this year's game, it's made of, I think, some kind of Hessian rope.
I think it's made of spaghetti that's not been boiled yet.
It's just perfectly straight.
Yeah.
And it just sort of, she just waves it around like a sword.
Yeah.
It's appalling.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bianca Belair.
There we go. Well done, Peter.
Thanks.
That's a wrestle.
It is.
And then you have the character models themselves, which barely resemble their real-life world counterparts. These are appalling. There's one going around at the moment for Macho Man, where he just looks like a frumpy aunt. And it's like, this is one of the most legendary wrestlers of all time, and you've made him look like that. You've got The Rock, who just looks like someone cosplaying as The Rock. It's like you've been doing, I think the accompanying tweet said, you've been doing these, this guy has been in 20 years of wrestling games.
Yeah.
And how have you got this so wrong?
I think Owen and Andrew in the office yesterday saying that there's two people in the roster list who are next to each other, and I don't know who, they didn't even say who it was, but you go from one to the other down the list, and all that happens is a beard gets added. It's two different people.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
So there is some, and beyond this, there are an immense amount of glitches in the actual action as well. People falling through the ring, like bodies just contorting, and they're walking around like they're doing that Russian dance where they do the leg kicks and stuff. They're just walking around on the floor.
People getting stuck in the ropes.
Yeah, just flying around the ring because the physics are broken.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So there is kind of a reason for this. The word is that when Visual Concepts took full control of the series, it had to rebuild a bunch of systems and mechanics. The popular Creator Championship mode will not be patched in until after release, for example. Frankly, it feels like the series should have taken a year off. Wrestling games have been bad for a while, but this is next level terrible from what we've seen. So it sounds like basically Ukes, finally stopped. You know, they're no longer involved in the games, and I don't know. Maybe a lot of the technology used in it was either patented or owned by them, and 2K just didn't bother to buy it, perhaps.
And they had to redo their own.
So yeah, basically, the poor. I say poor because I do feel some sympathy for them if this is the case. They've had a year to basically rebuild most of what Ukes were working with last year, and yes, there shouldn't have been one this year. Absolutely not. But this is 2K greed. This is
they do one every year. They
WWE
just felt like,
greed.
We've got to do it.
Yeah. And it's hysterically disastrous. This game needs a price cut immediately. I'd love to play it. I know Adam from Cultaholic is streaming the career mode, and apparently he had glitches almost immediately.
Yeah.
It's astonishing. It's absolutely unbelievable.
It is. I mean, because you do think, in the same way that, you know, when Ubisoft used to churn out an Assassin's Creed every year, you know, it is that thing of like, well, how can this be that bad when we know that you're mostly just recycling like old mechanics and assets? And I guess the explanation in this case would be they've not just gone from last year's game to this year's game and somehow it's all not working anymore. It's because they have maybe been rebuilding stuff out of necessity.
It's disastrous.
Yeah.
But please look up the hashtag fix WWE 2K20, I think it is, because there are some amazing clips out there of this game. That was weird news.
It was weird news. We've got a question now.
Yeah.
This is from the son of...
The son?
The son of the embodiment of water.
Yeah.
The whole concept of water itself has a child.
He's called Water Boy.
He's called Mike.
Waterson.
Mike Waterson. Yeah. And Mike Waterson says, which Halloween films, and I mean the holiday, not the film series, do you think would translate best into a horror game? Ooh. I know there was the Friday the 13th, but let's be real, it was pretty wank. What other films or film franchises of a spooky nature do you think would fare well as games? As always, love the work.
Love the work. Thank you.
Work.
Thank you, Son of Water.
Halloween games, not as in
horror
Halloween.
games, I think is what Mike was trying to say there. Spooky games. Spooky films, sorry, not games. Horror films haven't had great games, have they, recently?
No.
Because a lot of the time, you don't really get movie tie-ins anymore anyway.
Thank God.
And so now you get a lot of mobile games.
Yeah.
You get a lot of free-to-play games. You get a lot of browser games.
You get a lot of
crappy stuff.
Mid-tier studios buying licenses for things.
Making Friday the 13th, and then for some reason making Predator Hunting Grounds as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my suggestion, in a perfect world,
yes,
I think that it, off of Stephen King's
but
the film version, the recent ones, not the old film and not the book, because the book is you okay?
That's the weird musical thing it does.
Oh, okay. It's nice.
Yeah.
Can I get it one more time? Amazing. I have now pooed, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
I have now pooed.
That's terrible.
But we'll continue anyway, because I'm a professional.
The recent film versions.
Yeah, I want it to be based on the recent film versions, but I want it to be it needs to be a proper horror game in that it has to be a linear narrative-driven game.
Mm-hmm.
And none of this, play with 4 of your friends and you all control one of the kids.
Yeah.
None of this, play online, play co-op, you get daily missions, all that kind of bollocks. You know, it can't be that.
One of you is it, and the other 4 are teens who have to escape the house.
Don't want that. It's got to, I mean, I know that everyone who's seen the film sort of would expect the scares that are going to happen and the plot beats and stuff, but if there was to be an It game, I would like it to be sort of like an 8-hour linear campaign that sort of thing, maybe slightly shorter, where it follows the plot of the film, there's no multiplayer, and you play as all of the various kids at some point. And you have to, it's just a tight, crafted, very spooky, realistic game with sort of photorealistic graphics, not cartoony stuff. Because I know when with games recently set on based on licenses or just set in the 80s, they always go for this sort of retro vibe or sort of cartoony, colourful vibe. No, it can't be that. It has to be dark and really frightening. You've seen the mods for Resident Evil 2 Remake where they've replaced Mr. X with Pennywise. It's really frightening.
It is.
You can do that. It's possible. So that would be my suggestion. I would never play it, though.
Oh, okay. No. It sounds horrible.
What about you?
I've got a couple of ideas.
Oh,
I think sort of B-movie, yet somehow kind of genuinely scary and somewhat successful movie, The Descent, where they go into the caves and there's all those sort of goblins in there. Are you aware of that one?
No.
It's not good.
Is it not?
Well, I don't mean it's
spooky?
bad. I mean it's a spooky one.
Okay.
It's not great in terms of quality, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
But that's a great setting for a horror game, and you could deviate like somewhat. You could, as long as you're just down in the caves and there's some spooky things happening, you could kind of really sort of test the waters with doing it more action-packed, like you do actually have to fight these monsters, or maybe it's mostly just wandering around solving puzzles and things, but there's also spooky things around. So that could all be good. Similarly, Blair Witch is like coming out, isn't it? The Blair Witch Project. Is it just called Blair Witch?
I think so. Isn't that out now?
Yeah, it is out, actually.
I don't think it's very good.
No.
It's not meant to be very good.
Well, that's exactly where I'm going with this.
Okay.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, but hang on, what do you mean? Why are there loads of monsters and things?
Yeah, what?
That's not what the whole point of the Blair Witch Project was. You didn't really see anything. It was just implied that they were being like stalked and trapped by this creepy
Tony Blair.
Creepy Tony Blair, yeah.
It's New Labour. They're in the woods.
They are. I think you could definitely do almost a walking sim style, or a kind of Until Dawn kind of thing.
I think walking sim is a great shout.
Yeah.
There's a couple of walking sims that are, perceived as the best ones. I can't remember. Dear Esther might be one of them. I can't remember which one it was. But it's pretty freaky. Like there's stuff in there to sort of make you unnerved. Things change in the environment, and you see like figures walking in the distance. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to me.
That kind of thing. So it's essentially like the original Blair Witch Project movie. Maybe it's like a bit of a spin on it, and you're not actually those same three kids, but maybe it's a very similar thing. It's like three kids. They've gone into the woods. It's a bit like Outlast maybe as well. Like something, blurring the lines between Outlast and a true walking sim. And so there's not actually that many encounters with any kind of entity. And even when there are, it's more just sort of implied. Like you're inside the tent and you just see like it puts its hands on the tent wall and stuff like that. Yeah. And then, at the end you end up in the cabin. Spooky things happen. But don't throw loads of actual demons in my face.
No.
If you're a Blair Witch based game, because that's not what Blair Witch is about. And it's such a waste.
It's like bad Aliens games.
Yeah,
where they just throw loads of xenomorphs at you. So that's not what... It's not what any of this was about.
Yeah, Alien Isolation is like the best Alien game for a long time, if maybe even ever. And there's one alien in that.
There's one Alan.
Yeah,
just Alan.
And you're mostly just running away from it. You don't really fight it.
Yeah.
The one other thing I thought could be quite interesting was like I really like the Hannibal movies.
Okay.
With the Anthony Hopkins, portrayal of Hannibal.
Sir.
And
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Knight of the Realm.
That's it. What did you just do? You just smash your chest. It sounded really hollow. Are you okay?
I don't know if
What is that?
Just empty.
Do you have? Is there anything in there?
No, I'm heartless. I'm like the Tin Man. But solving a serial killer crime, while Mr. Hannibal is in prison, like in the movies. And you go and like talk to him like in between levels, and he gives you advice, and you have to just sort of solve this spooky killing that's going on. And then maybe he escapes, like in the third act. Hannibal's out there too, and that also complicates things. Oh,
That is spooky.
oh, that could be good. I really like those films.
I do like the idea though of the Alien Isolation actually as a horror game thing. You just replace Alien Isolation with our town and our movie villain, and that kind of works. It's just you trying to avoid this monster for the whole game while there's a story playing along as you go.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty good. There you go. There's some great ideas.
lots of options there.
Budding developers, go do it, because real developers don't answer our emails, so it doesn't matter. It's time, Peter.
For what?
A big discussion. Big discussion time, Peter. That was good.
Thanks.
That was really good. So you would have thought that maybe the big discussion would be about a spooky thing. And in many ways it is. But it's spooky business practices instead.
It is, yeah.
This was brought to, I mean, we were aware of this anyway, but many Manuel people asked about it, including Mark Hopkins. What did she just say? Done.
Done. Ben asked Siri to set a timer for 29 minutes about 3 minutes ago, and she just said 1 second, and then
I'm still on it.
And then that was it. And then we started the recording.
Yeah.
And there she goes.
It said done. I see you shivering with anticipation. A little. I think that's a Tim. Is that a Tim Curry reference?
Possibly.
I'm not entirely sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, Mark Hopkins, Xavier Ramirez, Rhys Jones, and Christian Sturt all brought this one up.
It's a double from Christian Sturt.
Double Christian. Fallout 76, and then in parentheses, the most broken game of the generation, is going to be charging monthly for new content, even though they charged people $60 for a broken game. Not a question, just a statement. Discuss.
Most broken game of the generation, eh? I think WWE want to
have
a
WWE 2K20 is funny broken.
Yeah.
But yes, Fallout 76. Everyone knows that I have been a real devil's advocate for this game.
Oh, you have.
I've been trying to see the good in it, but this is just...
You've been advocating one of the worst devils there is.
It's just
It's like being a Nazi sympathizer.
Whoa, it's not quite that bad.
No, it's not.
But it's pretty bad.
It is.
At this point, I've long since shed my in defense of Fallout 76 nature. So let's turn to Push Square, Peter.
Let's.
Where we have an article that tells us all about this fantastic new scheme to get people to pay even more for Fallout 76. For those of you still playing Fallout 76, there's some news that's sure to receive mixed feelings. Today, Bethesda has introduced Fallout First, a premium membership for its online-only shooter that will grant you access to private servers, unlimited storage for crafting items, a monthly supply of atoms, and much more. The downside is that it's pretty damn pricey. So that stuff that we just mentioned there should absolutely have been given to all players for free because they've already paid for the game.
Yeah.
They've already paid for it.
But now there's a premium service, Ben.
Who's playing it anymore? What are they hoping
people
to get from this?
Push Square goes on.
Yeah.
Before we get into the cost of Fallout First, let's go through its contents properly. As mentioned, the oft-requested private servers are included, allowing you to create a world populated only by you and, if you like, up to 7 pals. Private servers can be entered by any player, but the creator of the server must be a member of Fallout First. Turn the page. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do this thing together.
Yeah.
Next up, you have the Scrap Box, an item exclusively for First members that effectively gives you unlimited storage space for crafting items. I hate that. I hate that so much because storage was one of, as someone who put way more time into Fallout 76 than anybody had any right to, that was the bane of my entire playtime.
And now you can pay to win.
Now you can pay to win, but also this comes a year after it launched.
Right.
Nobody who was put off by the inventory system is still playing.
No.
So this is of no consequence to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
Because the people who have put up for it this whole time have presumably worked out how to survive and will just be annoyed that they've had to get rid of so much stuff when now they have a place to store all of it.
When they almost don't really need it as much anymore because they've leveled up that much.
Obscene. This will help you keep your inventories in order, which is a plus. A survival tent is the next bonus. It acts as a second base you can place down anywhere, and you can fast travel to it as well. As a member, you will also get 1,650 atoms a month to spend in the Atomic Shop.
Weird number.
It is weird, isn't it? Finally, Fallout First members will earn themselves a special outfit and a bunch of icons and emotes. That is absolutely not worth any amount of money.
No.
None of that stuff. But it's when you hear the prices, Peter, that it makes things almost... Just the sorry PR saga of Fallout 76 continues, and I don't know why, a year later, it's literally on the anniversary of its launch, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're still having this stuff.
You're absolutely right that the price is obscene. For those of you who haven't heard the price yet, just sort of think in your head.
Sit down
and estimate in your head, what do you think that essentially basic set of content is? You know, a scrap box, a tent, some atoms, and that's kind of it, right?
Before you say that, that description there, that sounds like a pre-order bonus.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like something you would have to pay any amount of money for.
Yeah.
Let alone pay money every month for.
Yeah. You're paying monthly for those things.
What happens if you get the second base and then you let your subscription lapse?
Yeah.
Is it just
does it go
stored
away?
in limbo, or is it just gone forever?
Why
Do you
not-
get to label a base second base? And if you spend loads of time and resources on it, does it just go?
Do you have to then just keep paying forever? Otherwise your base is going to disappear?
I don't know.
Or maybe you can just get 1 month of this and then quit immediately. Anyway, let's find out. I'll put you out of your misery. Well, no, I'll put you into your misery
Yeah,
when you
get
hit.
miserable.
There are two options when it comes to how you pay for Fallout First. You can either purchase 1 month for $12.99, and that's dollars, or £11.99. Ouch, it says in brackets. Or you can stump up the full 12-month subscription, which will set you back $99.99 or £99.99, which is a bit weird given that they seem to have adjusted for the monthly price, but the full price is just 100
Screw it. It's
units of
It's £100.
money
It's £100.
in whatever country.
£100.
Insane. We're not going to tell you how to spend your money, but you can get Netflix for a monthly fee of just £5.99. Just putting that out there is what it says. I mean, that's not exactly... Well, you can get like the lowest version of Netflix for that amount. But yes.
You can get the lowest version of Fallout 76 for probably $5.99 at this point as well.
Head to CEX.
This is bonkers. We've talked frequently about how much we dislike games that you pay your entry fee for and you buy it, and then they're like, oh, by the way, now there are bonus things you can buy with other money, and the people who do that are going to have an advantage over you. They're going to be better than you. You're going to be a B tier player.
Yeah.
This is absolutely mind-boggling. I'm assuming that this was always the intention, and they've just waited because the public backlash and reaction was so bad to Fallout 76 that if they'd have announced a premium model within the first 6 months of this game being out, they would have been lynched even more so than they already have been. But it's not been long enough. Bethesda is in everyone's bad graces for a series of really bad games this year.
And moldy helmets.
It's I just don't. Do they live on the same planet as us?
Well, the problem is, I kind of like the idea there that you've got that they thought, well, we can't possibly announce our premium service while everyone is saying this is the worst game of the year at the time. But what they've done instead, by waiting this long to announce it, instead they've just extended the period of time at which like people are annoyed at them. So people were annoyed at them for like 10 months, and then people finally stopped kind of caring, and then they've gone, don't forget about being annoyed at us, here's another reason.
That's it, right? They left it just long enough where people forgot about them, and then they came back in not with a game-saving move, but with a move that actively makes people despise them again.
Yeah.
It's utterly shocking, and I don't know some people will, but I don't know anybody who would get this. It already has a player base that is practically invisible at this point. And it doesn't fix, as we talked about over E3 with their new content packs and stuff, it does not fix the issues that are most prevalent with Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Which is, it doesn't matter if you have private servers. They're probably it's probably still going to crash.
Yeah.
It's probably still going to not run very well. It's probably still going to forget what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get all the way through the process of launching a nuke on your server by yourself, and then the game will just crash. It won't be the server that goes down. You won't get kicked off the server, but the game will still crash.
Yeah.
It's fundamentally a broken game, and this stuff makes no difference to that at all. There is no redeeming this game. They're just PR-wise making things way worse for themselves again.
Well, incidentally, this week at the time of recording happens to be the release week for Outer Worlds, right? Now, I saw a bit of a wild theory on Twitter. I really like it as a concept. I don't know if Bethesda are that wild, but that because Outer Worlds is releasing this week, which is pretty Fallout looking, isn't it? It's kind of Americana, sort of sci-fi.
So the backstory is it's from Obsidian, who were the sort of original Fallout developers.
Yeah.
And they also did Fallout New Vegas, but there's been various stories of, but they didn't get on very well with Bethesda, and Fallout New Vegas was sort of treated as the red-headed stepchild by Bethesda, even though it's widely appreciated as one
By
of
the audience,
the
yeah.
better Fallout games. So in all their marketing for the Outer Worlds, which is very, very Obsidian, they it says from the award-winning original creators of Fallout and stuff like that. So it's all sort of just been taking pot shots, because Bethesda was definitely at its lowest at that point when they announced it.
Yeah, and even like thematically in the you look at it, and if you look too quickly, you're like, oh, that's Fallout. Oh wait, no, it isn't.
They beat them to space as well.
Yeah,
we're not going to see Starfield for decades.
No,
probably.
You're right, and so that's coming out this week. And I saw someone tweet the other day, or yesterday, I think, that Fallout Bethesda have announced this terrible scheme just so they get onto the front pages of all the gaming news sites, just to sort of try and push Outer Worlds down a little bit, in case there's any articles going, oh, Outer Worlds is out this week, in case you forgot about it. We all forgot about it because they've not marketed it very well.
No, they haven't.
So, I like that idea. I don't know if they're that self-destructive.
No. I mean, victory at any cost is no victory at all, is it?
Intentional or not, like, that is sort of the effect. It's to a small extent that it kind of has had that effect. Like, people don't seem to know or be talking about Outer Worlds. Everyone's talking about this right now.
Yeah, I mean, we are, but also the Outer Worlds is now available for purchase if you want it. So there we go. Well, that was the big discussion, and that's our show. Thank you very much for sort of being brave and getting through the spookiest episode we've ever done. I'm sure you'll agree. It was really spooky. Peter, where can people find us if they want to let us know what they thought of the episode and the things we discussed in it?
Well, if you want to let us know stuff, we're on social media at twitter.com and facebook.com/Team TripleJump. Our Facebook is looked after by Luke Eldon. You can also communicate with us in some way, shape, or form by watching our content and doing comments on it and stuff at youtube.com and twitch.tv/Team TripleJump. And our Twitch and YouTube streams are looked after by Lord Brotovich and Cecil Prumps, who we done Meta TGX, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. They're lovely people. We've got a Patreon, as you well know, for submitting questions and getting other awards. That's patreon.com/Team TripleJump. One of the rewards at a certain tier is that we've got a little Discord room.
Yes.
We've got non-Patreon Discord rooms as well.
Yeah, you can access the whole thing for free.
But there's a special Patreon room, and that's bit.ly/Team TripleJump. And our mod on Discord is Jack Bradshaw. If you want the audio version of the podcast, that's play.acast.com/s/TripleJump. And the website is triplej.mup. We have a store.
We do have a store.
Buy this mooge.
Buy this jumper as well
And
that you're wearing.
yes.
Look at that. I'm not wearing a shirt today.
no.
I'm not wearing a shirt. Tune into the video to see me not wear a Triple Jump shirt.
Yeah.
Peter, people want to follow us on Twitter. They can do at confused_dude and at that Peter Austin. Did it the other way around today. Flipped it. Flipped it. And on Instagram, at that Peter Austin and at Ben Potter 20. That one was normal.
Oh.
That one was
Maybe next week you could do it the other way.
It's too complicated. Lists, we do them every Tuesday and Thursday. Streams every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. Monday and Tuesday being on Twitch and solo streams. Thursday being together on YouTube. Worst Games is fortnightly and you get it on Friday for patrons. You know that? Next week is a Worst Games week and I believe they're going to be getting it on Thursday instead of Friday. And that will be actual Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, it's a second spooky one. We're spoiling you.
Oh, so spooky. And the podcast is every Saturday. Please leave us a review on your platform of choice, maybe iTunes, I don't know, whatever you've got going on. There was a main menu episode, Peter, another cooking episode that was out yesterday. That was a spooky one.
Yes.
We were joined by Michael Johnson.
Yes.
It was a good episode, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, chaotic.
Very chaotic.
My kitchen is still sticky, actually.
Is it?
Well, so
It's been a month.
I cleaned all the surfaces and all the floor. That was all fine. And then yesterday, I went into the very back of my, pans cupboard, and there was a bag of sugar, and I was like, oh, that's in the way. And I tried to pick it up, and it went...
Oh, no.
So it must have been sticky on the underside of
the worst.
That. Yeah.
The worst. So please go and watch that, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, we need some suggestions for Christmas recipes, and also another recipe to do in November as well. So please suggest them in the comments.
Video game related, remember?
Video game.
Don't just say, make Christmas pudding.
Don't be ridiculous.
Shut up.
We spoke about Christmas puddings last time. They're bad. Terrible dessert.
Really bad.
We've actually got a sort of standalone Halloween video out tomorrow for those of you that are Halloween inclined.
Yes.
We're going to be doing something to do with carving each other
and Halloween. I wonder what it could possibly be.
Leave it up to the don't.
It's also video game related.
It's also video game related, kind of. And next week will be a couple of spooky lists, including one of our patented extra long boy lists. So make sure you tune in for those. Thank you so much for watching and listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Peter, there's just enough time to talk about our sponsor again.
Yeah, if you want to sleep on an actual hypodermic needle bed,
yes,
just head to Airbnb for all your bed and drug-addled maniacs needs. You could catch all sorts. Who knows? We'll give you a little spotting guide when you arrive, so you can check off all the disease: hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C,
naughty
hepatitis D,
naughty spices, Mel B,
scary
spices, Mel C.
Yeah, tuberculosis. Would you get
tuberca?
Asbestosis or something.
Are you okay?
What do you get? The asbestosis, I think it's called.
Asbestosis.
Yeah,
sure.
One of those.
Excellent. That's real. That's a real thing. You can go find them there in the sewer.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for watching and listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.